In this video, we're going to explain everything you need to know to travel to Portugal. The most complete video you'll watch today about this destination, covering Lisbon, Porto, the Algarve, Sintra, and the best tips. So let's get started. Portugal is a perfect gateway to Europe. It's a country with an incredibly rich history, spectacular gastronomy, landscapes ranging from paradise beaches to stunning vineyards, and best of all, it's safe, welcoming, and relatively affordable. But before we talk about the destinations, let's get to the most important logistics. When is the best time to visit Portugal? Portugal has a great climate. The best times are spring, from April to June, and fall in September and October. The weather is perfect, not too hot and not too cold. Prices are better, and the crowds are smaller. We recommend avoiding July and August. It's summer, the high season. It gets very hot, especially in Lisbon and the Alentejo, and the Algarve gets unbearably crowded with European tourists, and prices skyrocket. Winter, from November to March, is a good time to visit the cities like Lisbon and Porto. It's less crowded and cheaper, but it's cold and rainy, and not the time to go to the Algarve. And how many days to stay in Portugal? The country is small, but the regions are very different. For a first trip, the most common itinerary is Lisbon and Porto. For this, we recommend at least 10 days. Stay 5 days in Lisbon to have time for day trips to Sintra and Cascais, and 5 days in Porto to have time for a day trip to the Douro Valley. If you want to include the Algarve, the ideal is 15 days in total. 5 days in Lisbon, 5 days in the Algarve, and 5 days in Porto. Anything less, and you'll spend more time traveling than enjoying. Mandatory documentation. To enter Portugal, which is part of the European Schengen area, you need two things. First, your valid passport with at least 3 months of validity after your departure date. Many nationalities do not need a visa to stay for up to 90 days as tourists. And second, travel insurance. Travel insurance in Europe is mandatory under the Schengen Treaty, with a minimum coverage of 30,000 euros. They can ask for proof of your insurance at immigration. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description, there's the comparator we use that always finds the insurance at half the price. And be aware, soon, an electronic travel authorization called ETIAS will also be mandatory for many nationalities, so check on that before you travel. Staying in a good area will make your trip much easier. You'll be close to all these tourist spots. The strategy in Portugal is to have base cities. In Lisbon, lodging is spread out. The most charming neighborhoods are Alfama and Bairro Alto. The pro is the charm of the narrow streets. The cons are the steep hills and the noise at night in Bairro Alto. The most practical and flat area is Baixa and Chiado. You'll be in the center of everything, near the metro and the train stations for Sintra and Cascais. For luxury, stay on Avenida da Liberdade. In Porto, the two best regions are Ribeira, by the river, with the best views, but it's very touristy and full of hills. Our recommendation is the upper part of the city, near Avenida dos Aliados and Bolão. It's more practical, cheaper, and close to everything. In the Algarve, the best base city is Lagos. It's a beautiful historic town with great restaurants and close to the best beaches like Ponta Dade. Albufeira is the most famous base for British tourists, but it's very focused on parties and bars, not as authentic. Vila Moura is more luxurious, with a large marina and resorts. We created this custom map, which explains exactly which is the best region in each of these base cities. If you stay in this marked area, you can't go wrong. We'll leave the link to this map here on the QR code on the screen and in the video description. We created it on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices. There, you can put in your travel dates and see all the hotel options within that location at the lowest prices. We'll also leave links to the hotels where we've stayed. In every destination, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located, and another that's a bit nicer, in the same location, but a little more expensive. They are great options. An important tip to save on lodging is the advanced booking strategy. The earlier you book your hotel, the less you will pay. This is why we love using this website. Besides having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation for almost all hotels. You can book as early as possible to guarantee a much lower price. And if you need to cancel later, it's super easy and costs nothing. And remember that in the link below, we always organize everything you need to plan your entire trip for the best price. The sites we use to plan our trips and that have everything much cheaper. International travel eSIM, travel insurance at half price, tickets for all the attractions we mentioned, the good and cheap hotels we've stayed at, the car rental comparator which is essential for the Algarve, and the global account, to carry euros paying much lower fees. And the links already contain automatic discounts, as we are always updating them. So save this page to your favorites and use it when planning. It will make your trip much easier and save you a lot of money. Now let's talk about transportation. How to get around Portugal. To arrive, you'll fly into Lisbon, LIS, or Porto, OPO, airport. To get between Lisbon and Porto, the best way is the high-speed train, the Alpha Pendular. The journey takes about 3 hours and 15 minutes and is super comfortable. The ticket costs from 32 euros, but if you buy in advance, you can find deals for half price. The bus, from Red Expressos, is cheaper, about 20 euros, but takes almost 4 hours to go from Lisbon or Porto to the Algarve. The train also works well, but a car starts to be a good option. And to explore the regions, in Lisbon and Porto, do not rent a car. The public transport is great. In Lisbon, use the metro, the trams, like the famous Tram 28, and the funiculars. Uber and Bolt are very cheap in Portugal, much cheaper than in the rest of Europe. Now, to explore the Algarve, a car is essential. It's impossible to get from one beach to another without a car. The tip is, take the train from Lisbon to Faro or Lagos and rent the car there, only for the days you'll be exploring the region. The same goes for the Douro Valley, leaving from Porto. For those renting, the most important tip is to book in advance online using a price comparator. It's always much cheaper, and you guarantee your vehicle as they sell out in summer. We'll leave the link to the comparator we use in the description. Now, for the main regions and attractions. The first region, your port of entry, is Lisbon, the capital. It's a vibrant city, full of hills and tiles. The first attraction is the Belém district. There, you must visit the Belém Tower. It's a 16th century fortress. The ticket costs about 6 euros. Next to it is the second attraction, the Jerónimos Monastery. It's a masterpiece of Manueline architecture. The ticket for the monastery and cloister costs 10 euros. The logistic is crucial. Buy your ticket online in advance. To get to Belém, take tram 15 from Praça da Figueira. The third attraction is the Alfama district and São Jorge Castle. Alfama is the oldest neighborhood. At the top is the castle. The attraction is the spectacular view. The castle ticket costs 15 euros. To get there, walk up or take the famous Tram 28. The fourth attraction is the mandatory day trip from Lisbon, Sintra. It's just a 40-minute train ride from Rossio station. The main attraction is the Pina Palace. It's that colorful yellow and red palace. The ticket costs 14 euros. You must buy this online with a time slot, far in advance. The fifth attraction in Sintra is Quinta da Regaleira, a mysterious estate with gardens and the famous initiation well. The ticket costs 12 euros. The second region is Porto and the north. Porto is a city with a completely different atmosphere. The sixth attraction is the Ribeira district. It's the waterfront on the Douro River. Walk across the Dom Luís I bridge on the upper deck. The view is free and is the best in the city. The seventh attraction is on the other side of the river, Vila Nova de Gaia. This is where the port wine cellars are. You can visit cellars like Sandeman, Taylor's, or Graham's. A guided tour with tasting starts at 20 euros. The eighth attraction in Porto is Livraria Lello, the famous bookstore. There is an entrance fee of 5 euros, but this amount is deducted if you buy a book. Buy the ticket online. The ninth attraction is the Douro Valley. This is where the grapes for port wine are grown. The logistic is to rent a car and sleep there, or take the 2.5-hour train from São Bento to Pinho. The third region is the Algarve, in the south. The Algarve is the country's beach destination. The 10th attraction is Ponta da Piedade, in Lagos. These are golden rock formations and grottos. You can see it from the cliff tops for free, or take the small boat tour that goes into the grottos. The tour leaves from the Lagos Marina and costs about 20 euros per person. The 11th attraction is the Benagil Cave. It's the cave with a hole in the ceiling. The logistic? You can only reach it by sea. You need to take a boat, kayak, or stand-up paddleboard from Benagil Beach. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. Buying on the spot is always more expensive, and the most famous tourist spots like Pena Palace in Sintra, Jerónimos Monastery, and Livraria Lello often sell out days before. We'll leave the link on the QR code on the screen and in the description to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the best price. It's the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Skip the line tickets for Pena Palace, tickets for São Jorge Castle, the boat tour to the Benagil Caves in the Algarve, and port wine tasting tours, all at the best price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. And they have free tours that are great, like walking tours of Alfama or Ribeira. Let's talk shopping. Portugal is not a luxury shopping destination, but it has unique things. The most obvious purchase is wine. Buy port wine in the cellars in Gaia, and Vinho Verde, green wine. Another famous purchase is canned goods, the tins of sardines and tuna. In Lisbon, the Conserveira de Lisboa shop is a classic. Cork products are also very famous. You'll find bags, shoes, and wallets. And of course, bring back hand-painted tiles, azulejos. For those looking for outlets, the Freeport Lisboa fashion outlet is across the bridge, and the tax-free tip applies. The tax in Portugal, VAT, is 23%. You can request a refund on purchases over 50 euros. And for those who are new here to the channel, welcome. Our mission is to help you travel more and better around the world. If you're enjoying it, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It helps us a lot. Speaking of gastronomy, Portuguese food is one of the best in the world. You have to try the codfish dishes, bacalhau à brás, with eggs and potatoes, bacalhau com natas, with cream, In Lisbon, don't miss the grilled sardines if it's in season. Try the polvo alagareiro, roasted octopus in olive oil. And in Porto, the star is the francesinha. It's a giant sandwich with steak, sausage, and ham, covered in melted cheese and a hot beer-based sauce. And the pastries. Besides the pastel de nata, try the travesseiro de Sintra. For restaurant suggestions, starting with the cheap ones. In Lisbon, go to As Bifanas do Afonso. It's a famous little spot serving the best bifana, the pork sandwich, for about €3. In Porto, for the best francesinha, Café Santiago is the most traditional. It costs about €12. For an expensive experience in Lisbon, go to Cervejaria Ramiro. It's super famous for seafood. Be prepared for lines. A dinner there costs about €60 per person. And for luxury in Porto, DOP by chef Rui Paula is spectacular, with a view of the Douro. A dinner costs over €100 per person. And how much does it cost to eat in Portugal? It's the cheapest country in Western Europe. It's a paradise for eating well without spending a lot. A full Big Mac combo costs about €7. A beer, Superboc or Sagres, costs €1.50. The golden tip is to look for the prato do dia, dish of the day, at lunchtime. For €10 to €15, you get a starter, main course, drink, dessert, and coffee. A full dinner at a mid-range restaurant will be around €30 to €40 per person. And the tip? It's not mandatory, but it's very kind and expected to leave about 10%. What about nightlife? The night in Portugal is super lively and starts late. In Lisbon, the action starts in the bars of Bairro Alto, where people drink in the streets. After midnight, everyone goes down to Pink Street, in Cais do Sodré, where the clubs are. In Porto, the night is buzzing on Rua das Galerias de Paris. In the Algarve, the party scene is concentrated in Albufeira and the Vila Moura Marina. Traveling with kids? Portugal is a wonderful destination for children. It's super safe and welcoming. In Lisbon, they'll love the Oceanário de Lisboa, Lisbon Oceanarium, one of the largest in the world. The ticket costs €25. They also love riding tram 28. São Jorge Castle is like a medieval playground. And in the Algarve, the sandy beaches are perfect for them. Combining your trip, Portugal is on the edge of Europe. The most obvious combination is with Spain. You can take a cheap flight from Lisbon or Porto to Madrid or Barcelona. Or if you're in the Algarve, you can rent a car and cross the border in 2 hours to Seville, in the Andalusia region of Spain. If you liked the video, like and subscribe to our channel to always travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much and have a great trip.